Alright, what's going on, Forgotten Nation? I'm your host, FG, and today we're looking at Altered Beast, an arcade game released by SEGA in 1988. This game is probably better known because of its port for the Sega Genesis, which for a time was the packing title for the system. And whether you love it or you hate it, most people probably know it because of the Genesis version. But that's not the version we're playing today. We're playing the arcade version, which, if any version, I feel like this is the one you should probably give a chance. Not only because it has a bit more in terms of its graphical performance, especially how you see the enemies splatter on the screen, but it has continues. The one thing the Genesis version of the game does not have. And just to be able to continue makes a big difference in seeing the game to the very end. And again, some other quality of life additions that weren't present in the Genesis version, such as that beginning little snippet of text we'll hear in just a moment. So to explain a little more, let's quarter up, and you know the words.
Rise from your grave.
It's a lot cooler in the arcade version. That's all I'm gonna say. But in Altered Beast, you play as, I believe, a Spartan. I want to say it's a Spartan who's been resurrected from the dead by Zeus in order to rescue his daughter Athena from an evil mage guy. I don't know what the villain is here. I don't know if it's another god, but the objective here is basically revive yourself from the dead and get stronger. And to do that, you need to beat the crap out of all the enemies you hear. You have goblins, you have beasts, you have a little bit of everything, really. But as you continue to defeat certain enemies, like these silver wolves, you get buffer and buffer until you become a beast. And the first stage, we have this weird... I don't know what to describe it. It's supposed to be like a wolf. Yeah. We're a bipedal wolf. But I'd imagine most people playing this probably had some sort of awakening at the time. I'm not gonna say what kind of awakening, but you could probably piece it all together. But once you are fully into a beast and you get to the end of the stage, you come across the boss. If you're not in beast form, it will continue to loop indefinitely until you become a beast. So the real objective of the game is to reach your beast form in order to take on the different bosses at the end of the stage. And this gross looking guy is the first boss of the game in the cemetery. I feel like it's a mix between a centaur and... I don't know. It's definitely got that centaur look to it, but then he's got like gravel on the bottom of bones and skeletons and rocks. I got nothing, folks. I got nothing. At the end of the stage, the evil menace takes your magical balls you collected, and you're reverted back to your human form. But you give chase and go to the next stage. Between stages, you get little orb cutscenes that show the evil guy doing horrible things to the goddess Athena. So yeah, there's a bit of urgency. But then you appear in the next desolate scape, and you repeat the process. This is a straightforward fighting game. I'm not going to call it anything revolutionary compared to games we've seen before, or even coming out around the same time. Because I believe it wouldn't be very long at all until the Sega Genesis would come out. And there'd definitely be some cooler things that come after this one. The reason this game is well known, though, is probably because the first thing is being the unique gimmick of becoming a beast. And again, you know, a lot of people probably enjoyed this at the time just because of turning into a beast. There's a total of 4 unique beasts in the game, and the 5th form, I believe, is a reskin of the first, is it a wolf? Is it a fox? I think it's a wolf. It's like a werewolf kind of deal. But what you have here is really just a simple loop. And it's the aesthetic here that really caught people at the time. You see the attract mode where it shows him becoming a beast, how it like zooms in on his face. That was like a big thing that the creator of the game wanted to focus on when he made it for the arcades. It's a simple game, and I feel like from other games comparing it, this is one that's very easy to get into, that it's still got that difficulty. It's very easy to fall and die. But it's still cool to see stuff like this. I mean, look, I just became like a lizard dragon that zaps the electricity. That's cool in its own right. And then just because of the PCB, how it's got like the enemies, how it all like splatters on the screen. That's cool. You think a game like this would be a little more gory though? I'm glad it's not, but it could have easily been. It easily could have probably had like blood and guts. And I don't think it probably would have sat well in the arcade, but some would have found it really cool. Unlike the reboot that they tried to attempt. There's a lot of things wrong with the reboots, and I feel like part of it is the way they went about the altered transformations. The fact that it shows like the skin, the flesh, the blood, like, ugh. It's creepy. It really is creepy. But that's why we haven't really seen anything like Altered Beast since the arcade inception. Because there's not a whole lot you can do that wouldn't make it weird by today's standards. And believe me, we have a lot of weird stuff already as it is.
Welcome to your doom.
But alright, welcome to your doom. The next boss is a giant eyeball monster, which of course we need to go for the eyeballs. Which actually electricity acts as a barricade, so nothing too bad. It takes a little bit of time, but nothing horrible. There's definitely worse out there. Alright, careful. Ah, we got one more alive. But yeah, I know a lot of people are going to know this game because of the Sega Genesis version and how it was slightly lower in comparison to the arcade version. I know a lot of people quote the Zeus in the beginning where you don't hear what he's saying. It's like, why through your gwave? Like, the quality of it just isn't there. But do I think Ultra Beast is a bad game? No. Is there better games you could play? By today's standards? Hell yeah. But I can see that there is still enjoyment, at least the arcade version of Ultra Beast. I can't recommend the Genesis version. In my personal opinion, I don't think the Genesis version is very good. It's pretty cool though to see how it was converted to the Genesis. Same along the lines of, say, Golden Axe, for example. But this is just a case where I think the arcade version is just better. It really is. Alright, up next, you see him with the, yeah, that! It's got that! I may have to censor that, because YouTube's not gonna like that. But that's a thing. Not to mention these guys. Did I mention this game's weird? I'm pretty sure I mentioned this game's weird. But yeah, one more thing that is worth mentioning is that one of these enemies we'll be seeing again if I decide to do some coverage of Golden Axe. If not, then just know I did already cover the Genesis version on the channel. And that was the weird enemy with the tail that's like a spear. We might see it again, but now the enemies are becoming a lot harder where you can't just spam the same button over and over. You need to be more strategic about how you go about it. So it does have a bit of depth to the gameplay. It's not just simply button mashing. But again, there's better games out there. I still recommend Altered Beast, but I know it's not going to be for everyone at this point in time. But still, I don't hate it. If you play the arcade version, I feel like there is something that can definitely be enjoyed here. I can't say the same for the Genesis version, even though that'll probably be the most accessible way of playing Altered Beast. This is still one I think is worth checking out. And, you know, I have to say it, the first way I played this game was through Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection. For those that don't get the references, watch the last 3 videos I've covered so far. I probably say the same thing at least once or twice. But yeah, I am so glad they include the arcade version of Altered Beast in the Ultimate Genesis Collection, because it's got the Genesis version, sure, but that's not gonna get anyone to play through the Genesis version. But by including the arcade version, that'll get people to see the game to the very end. So play the arcade version if you have access to it. But that's gonna do for this gameplay session of Altered Beast. If you like this video, be sure to leave a like and comment down below. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Alright, I gotta engage beast mode. I can't get a 6-pack, but I'll try. Ah! Cool.